Alright, just go random then. That's totally fine with me. Alright, so just talk about the kingdom. One of you go first, I guess. Player one goes first. Wait, you don't have to click start for that. You can look in the log, for example. Yeah. Well, so what do you want to do here? What do you see? So what do you want to open? White or silver? What price point? What five are you trying to hit? Like, what's your reasoning behind the silver? But silver isn't good at hitting land, right? Like, it's a stop card and it's only one thing, so to speak. Like, Teamwork surely does a better job at that. And I mean, there's not really a five I want to hit here. So what's your payload? How big are you trying to build? What do you think assemble? Sure, that's surely the first objective, yeah. I mean, it's totally fine. I just think you might want to give some consideration if you, in general, want to play with Mazu here. Obviously, you wouldn't open it, and you're not going to get it anytime soon. Not before the lamp pop, but I mean, I'm just seeing black, which worries me a little bit. If I'm doing singularity turn, they can react every possible turn. They can top deck them with traveling fair. So I would be afraid to just. So I'd be afraid to just single because that gives them so many opportunities to give out curses. But anyway, I mean, of course you're right in that it's something you don't have to decide yet. So I mean, you're still giving them labs, and you're still gonna be annoyed by them, especially if you're building to single. You're gonna have problems with consistently trashing them, I would guess. But anyway, sure, just do your T-Mog church opens. I think that's pretty clear to me. Okay, so you both have three, both have T-Mog 10 free. What are you buying? Okay, and next turn you're doing what? You're turning a state into. So do you want to buy the silver or gain the silver? Then is the question, right? Do you rather cycle a cart next turn, or do you rather have a silver for your next turn? Well, you're buying one of them and gaining the other one with teamwork next turn, right? So it's a question of what do you want in your hand next turn and in your discard. Well, no, I'm not saying I want to buy silver. I want you to think about what you rather have in your next hand. I mean, the thing is, presumably you see your church, and you can church. Surely you're setting aside the maximum, so at least you're with one card in hand, right? So if you do the secret cave, you have one card in hand. The card is not going to do anything, obviously. Whereas if you do silver, you could buy ride or placat, but probably ride. So personally, I would rather buy the cave and then get the silver so I can buy ride next turn. But if you want secret cave more, wouldn't you rather play it earlier? Because the team mug thing obviously happens first, right? Like enters play first, and so to say. I mean, I'm not sure how good that ride is, but it seems like the cave doesn't do much for me here. Yeah, you will have. Well, you have two starting uniques, and then you bought church and team mug. That's four, and the cave is five, and then silver six. Yeah. I mean, ride helps more, right? You have two bad cards on top that don't matter for lamp purposes. Estate and copper, they're surely irrelevant for lamp. So your goal would be to pop the lamp on exactly turn five. Well, I guess you would need to see Team Oak turn four for that, which you do, but you also see the lamp. Okay, so are we trashing estate or copper here, Chantress? Okay, what are we buying? So, I mean, you can top deck whatever you buy, right? With traveling fair. So not up, yeah. I mean, does I mean for this turn it doesn't matter at all. The money does not matter, right? Because you have enough to traveling fair five, regardless of what you trash. So I would also guess estate, but sorry, I would also guess trashing copper and keeping the estate, but I don't think it's that big of a deal either way. But I mean, you might get a plaquette, right? The plaquette is looking pretty interesting because presumably we're just buying Bazaar here or Royal Carriage. Well, Bazaar most likely, but then you have an extra target on the estate to turn into plaquette. And it's important that you have a target for team up because you want the team up in play for your magic lamp pump. So I'd rather trash the copper, so I have more opportunities to do that. I mean, nothing else really does much. The turn is probably Royal Carriage, but yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, it's mostly for lamp purposes. Alright, so assemble me. Pretty much the same situation where it doesn't matter what you trash for your buy. Yeah, but it shouldn't be that big of a deal, right? Like, oh, so you do trash these days? Well, yeah, that's the discussion we just had, right? Sure, for next turn it doesn't matter. I mean, both are fine. It's a little bit different here because you got the T-Monk down. But yeah, you're also just buying Bazaar, I assume, right? What's the alternative? I guess you could have topped like the horse and a black cat if you really only cared. Well, it doesn't make sense because you can turn this estate into a black cat. Okay. I mean, you draw three cards into the shuffle. Surely you trigger this. Early game, you just trigger all shuffles basically. Sure, doesn't really matter for your price point. Yeah, that's fine. It's a little sad now because the team is dead for this one. Yep. Whoa, hold on. Like, surely it's better to set aside three coppers than discarding three coppers. Right? I mean, first of all, the question to me is do we play this black cat? Because we could pop the lamp. If we draw the lamp, it's popped. Right? It's guaranteed next turn. I have my reasonable doubts about that one. How is it guaranteed next turn? What is down there? You have what down there? You have a bazaar down there. That's one unique. And then you have the lamp. That's two. Copper obviously is three. And what are the other? How are you guaranteeing finding three more? Okay, that's four, right? Okay. Oh, you're setting aside the black cat, right? Wait, is that actually guaranteed? One, two, three. Okay, okay. But then why even set it? Oh, because you want the cave and play badly enough. Mm, okay. Uh, I guess it's fine. It's not what I would have done, but I can see your reasoning. Yeah, it is guaranteed pop next turn. That's true. Well, we'll play the church first and set aside two coppers probably, but I can see your reasoning. It's my worry is what's down there. There's only one good card there, right? There's only the bazaar and the four stop cards. I mean, I don't see what else there would be. Yeah, more or less. Yeah, bazaar for copper, bazaar two, no, bazaar three copper slam is what's down there. Yeah. I mean, I think you have a decent chance to pop, even if you like turn, even if you like don't go for the guaranteed play, and then you have a chance to pop it this turn. But I can see your reasoning, so. No, no. First, we want to proc the lamp. Yeah, I mean, I think you're just stretching the coppers. I don't think there's, I don't think there's any fancy play to do here. Yeah, it's a unique. So okay, so you clearly easily pop, but you also almost draw a deck, right? So you, it's pretty likely you would have gotten there anyway. But well, you can click on traveling fair because that's happening. Sure, that seems fine to me. I mean, now would probably be the time where I add the miser if I play with miser. But well, you could buy Bazaar miser here, but it's not. I mean, I don't think you have to play with miser. It's not clear to me that it's even great. So obviously this sets up your turn nicely to top deck those two. Yeah, it's a bit sad that you have to do it, but yeah, you gotta do it. Your royal carriage should also stay out. So I don't think there's any world where we ever discard here. Because you have to play the carriage early in it, right? So I don't want my carriage staying out. Also, I don't think money next turn is better than money this turn anyway, so. No, yeah, 100%. Because you have a bazaar down there, so it can't fail. Yeah. Well, no, you. Yeah. It is. Sorry, yeah. Well, if you want a secret cave this card, surely you would have done it before the bazaar play. Because now you're just wasting a draw if you don't read. So I don't know why we just played the bazaar. Like, if you want to play the cave in this card, then you should have done it before the bazaar. I would guess anyway. I mean, it's not clear because you do top deck two coppers, but yeah, sure. Into what would you kill it? Yeah, I don't think I like the church because, for one, you already have a church in here, right? In this turn, is mean, and the second church per turn doesn't do anything really. I mean, trash is a little fast, but it's pretty underwhelming. And I don't think Teamwork does much either because I don't see many things to really Teamwork here. So if you want a Teamwork, I would turn it into Miser or Changeling. I think it's fine to. Sure, Changeling is fine. I mean, I don't see why it would be fancy. It gains a Bazaar. It's not like you got the cave to then Teamwork it to then get a Changeling, right? It's just a byproduct of what naturally happens. So yeah, it's a bit sad. Sure. Well, you either buy Bazaar or top deck a Black Cat here, I would assume, right? So it's either 4 or 5 money. So either you set aside 3 coppers or you set aside 2 coppers. What do you have down there? Yeah, well, you have wishes. Like, what are those wishes gonna be if not bazaars? So, also you can top that, like traveling fast and nice. Also, you have a bazaar from this changeling, by the way, right? You can top deck the bazaar you gain from the changeling. I mean, are you ever interested in discarding with Secret Cave? I just regard it as a pure cantrip, so I would just play it here. Was bizarre Blackhead, right? Wishing for Blackhead is a bit sad. So I would guess you would just wish for Bazaar. I mean, again, I don't want to wish for Blackhead, which costs 2. Yeah, it's not like buy is a huge issue here. So yeah, that's fine. All right. Well, you have the same decision in the regards of do you want to play with a single miser that you then can call royal carriages on if you want to or not. Set what up next then? I mean, now is a perfectly fine time, right? You're gonna draw deck next turn easily if you with because you set aside church here, so like that's not gonna be an issue. Like this is the time I would add it if I do play with it. If you want to play with Mice, yes. No, city is not a consideration at all. Yet, I don't think. Is it worth that much to top deck it really? Your deck is really consistent at this point. Alright, it's also I'm not sure what's down there. There's a T-Mog, I would guess. No, you have a T-Mog on the mat. I mean, and I think you're gonna have better chances actually at having a good turn by just setting aside 2 and buying the Black Cat, simply because your deck is fairly consistent at this point. And the coppers. Like, you also need to find a village, right? Like, this is not a hand you would want to have an additional Black Cat top deck. Well, you have the last 3, right? So, what pile would empty for city to be relevant? I mean, eventually they will run, but until then, I think Bazaar is just doing a much better job. I mean, he's clearly not interested in, like, he's gonna do mice and stuff, so. So, are we wishing for gold? Or are you even wishing for church? But, that doesn't feel great to me. Okay, so let's say you what wish for two golds even, then you have what 10, 16. You traveling fair, you have 14 two buys, 12 free buys. So you could what buy a Bazaar Black Cat or something with your 12 money if you wish for two golds here. I mean, I think if you wish for golds, you're still gonna draw a deck, right? Because you're adding one draw on the Black Hat. So I mean, you're clearly against the clock in a sense because Maisu will outscale you for obvious reasons. So it does make a lot of sense to wish for payload. I mean, you could do Royal Carriage if you don't want to lower the Bazaar pile for cities, but it's another reason why the cities aren't great, right? Because you can always just add carriages instead and then put the city player. So what are we doing here? Are we gambling on this one draw? Are we killing the silver into another secret cave just to try and have a better shot at drawing here? Okay. Sure. I mean, you could also consider killing a black hat into it, but I would rather have a black hat than the silver. Okay. Well, sure. Yeah, no, you're not interested in killing the coppers anymore with the Misa. Yeah, for sure. Well, you might actually discard here with the cave, right? Because you do actually have quite a bit of overdraw, so I think you played a black hat first. I don't see a reason why you wouldn't. Oh. Well, no. Again, same thing. Cave draws a card, so you want to play the cave first. It's fine. You still draw everything here. You don't have to undo. Oh, whatever. No, it's fine. I mean, you're not gonna discard again, right? You need these coppers in your hand for Masa. Well, at least two, maybe even three. I don't know. Well, if you take the coins off the setting aside too, you have what? You have 4 down, so you'd be at 8 money. Is that a good price point? Not particularly, I guess. So yeah, I guess you just put another down. So you'd have to assume your opponent is going to green soon, right? They wish for golds and they draw dags. So yeah, yeah. Not really, no. Not really, no. I don't see anything. I mean, your team marks are probably gonna be used mostly to mill provinces, because again, you're on a clock. Okay, so what do you want to buy this turn? Okay, so you need to put a bazaar for that, you said? I didn't actually count your deck money. Okay. And you can't set aside anything. Wow, your deck is... this is not gonna work. This is gonna get crucified by Black Cat. No, no, no. It's definitely too late at this point. But I don't think you can double here. Well, I mean, I think you need to set aside with the church. I mean, go ahead and double. Get murdered. That's a lesson, I guess. But I would, yeah. Oh, you're lucky he only has one. The problem is your deck is now completely dead. Like, you just added 3 stop cards. And you barely drew last turn, so... Your deck is gonna be in real trouble here. Do you call carriage on this bazaar now? I can see either. Um, what stop card do you even have down there? Is there even another stop card? There's one more carriage, I guess, right? No, there isn't even. I don't think there's a single stop card down there. Maybe I'm wrong. No, I don't think there is any. Yeah, so you don't have to call carriage then, clearly. I mean, you wasted a draw again for that purpose, right? So at this point, maybe you just set aside the cards. It's a bit sad to set aside black cats, though, because you kind of want them in your deck. So maybe you just set aside the cave now and leave the black cats in your deck. Because you really want to curse them, I would guess. Alright, well, okay, click a few times on Traveling Fair, because, you know, we're gonna do that. Well, one more time at least, right? There's no way. So, what are we buying? I mean, City's fine, right? Because, I mean, I would expect we empty the placards and top deck them. Well, 11, because you were Traveling Fair again, right? Sure. Or probably would rather do a Royal Carriage than a second City, because you have both top decked anyway. When is City ever gonna be better than the Royal Carriage? And the Royal Carriage gives you the option to do it on Misa, so yeah. I mean, I like that. I think Assemble Me's completely lost now because I don't see how his deck can survive this. But I mean, maybe he magically doubles here. Yeah, it's gonna be tough, that's for sure. I mean, do you even turn a Sculpt into a carriage now to have a turn? Or into a city, I guess, would be better. Uh, I mean, your deck can't double. Like, you added 3 stop cards and you needed to draw your entirety of your money. This is not happening again. Like, I, I don't think you can even remotely hope for a double here. I mean, if you're trying to double, surely you don't kill it, right? And try to somehow get there. Which, I mean, you sort of have to get there, and you don't want to call it a team up because you kind of have to mill a province next turn. So you probably just hope. But yeah, this is what expected to happen. Yeah, this is not surprising. Yeah, well, I guess you buy a city. I could kill the cave into a miser. No, I mean you, you have to draw, right? I think it's fine to get another miser. I don't see why not. This cave obviously does nothing. Yeah, but you have a city and two royal carriages and two placards in hand. I don't think draws like. No, no, the cave is really just a cantrip. Yeah, if you can at all help it, that would be good. Which, yeah, you should be fine. You can discard the black cats to the cave, right? Because why not? Alright, time to make money. Yeah, that was good. I mean, I don't see a reason to green, honestly. I just, your opponent is dead. Like, he's unable to green, he's unable to do anything. I'm building to 6 provinces at that point. Because why not, Just play it safe, keep building forever. There's no reason to take any risks here and have him get a wild placard chain that somehow kills your deck. Just doesn't. Well, why? Just to activate your cities? Your one city? Don't see re. I wouldn't top deck anything because of placards, right? But I mean, you can just buy like 3 carriages in the city or something here. Seems totally fine to me. I again don't see why you would green at this point. I mean, you can triple and you would win, but why? Sure. One city top deck should be fine. I just didn't want to top deck everything mostly. I mean, you can also resign here if you want to resign. I'm not gonna make you play out games that are completely over, and this is definitely completely over. I think you should play the Black Cats first there because you're never gonna carriage the Black Cats, but you might actually like Royal Carriage or CD. It's super unlikely, but you know. Yeah, I mean that's the goal, right? But in the play order, you should play the Black Cats first in case you have to call it on something else, which is again incredibly unlikely. But can you really? Doesn't look that way to me. I mean, I would rather just. I mean, I just don't think the 3 coins do much anyway. So, at this point, just play the Bazaar, I think, and like, even if you miss the coins, it's not a big deal. But right now, for example, you just don't want to play this placard, obviously, because. I mean, I don't know what's on top. I guess you should know what's on top. Is there a city? Does he have a city? Okay. Well, that's fine to have down, right? Because you can still call it on black cats even during his turn. Apparently, there's a placket on top, so you definitely want to leave that there. Well, you want to church the plaque? Oh, I guess not. Yeah, I mean, at least play the church, though. You don't want the church in your deck, right? The church is obviously not a card you really want in your deck. I mean, how much money do you have here anyway? Too much. Oh my god, yeah, there's 6 carriages? Jeez. Okay. So that's what, 7 plays, 35, 46 money. Yeah, just get money and then we'll see. You have to buy quite a few points though. Like, what would you pile? You would pile 8 estates and bazaar and then buy a province. That's 11, 12. But then you need, well, that's 25 money, and then you need a lot of. It doesn't get there. That doesn't win. No way. But bazaar, estates, and province. That's what 11 buys. So you have 26 money after traveling, ferrying, but you still don't get there. Okay. I mean, I guess now you can add some provinces. Just like you probably don't want to lower piles in case you have a freak dad. Well, 2 traveling fours at least, right? I mean, you can also just quad. I guess maybe you shouldn't quad. Yeah, I guess you just triple. That's what, 24 money, at least you have 14. So I guess you can travel for one more time. Yeah, so that's no threat. I mean, again, your deck also can't double, realistically. Hmm, interesting. Yeah, he definitely can't triple. That's absolutely impossible. Can just, yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. I mean, you kind of have to call it, right? I think you kind of have to call the carriage here. Like, so it's 14, but 4 off, double. Not that it would do anything anyway. So I guess you set aside golds and province and buy province. I mean, only one. Sure, whatever. Like, you basically have it in hand, right? So, just do whatever. Yeah, in hand now. I mean, you only need 18 money and you have 3 carriages down and 5 miles of play, so that's 27 already. It definitely helps a lot, yeah. I mean, I also just don't think your double was something that makes much sense, to be honest, because your deck will instantly fall apart. Yeah, it's just saying it also means that on black cat boards you want to build bigger than usual, which Yeah, I'm not sure how good Mize is there. I think it's worth it, but I think you can also play without it. I just don't think you can double in that spot. We're not forcing two cards. Oh, I need for card combos. That's not happening here. But we can do storyteller. But I'm not gonna. Yeah, I don't care either way. Sure, change it. Oh god, none of you have investment. Actually, never played with that event. Not a single time. So, yeah. Honestly, I don't. Like, I can't give you any advice on Invest Kingdoms. Also, this Magpie Invest, which is horrible. Yeah, or just don't use it. Sure. Like, I just can't give you any advice on it because I've never played with it. So, anyway. Yeah, I'm sure it is. I don't have to play that to know that. Sorry, what do you want to open with Magpie? Yeah, but what are no? What are you opening alongside? I didn't get that part. Oh, Scrab. Yeah, Scrab or Fisherman both seem fine. Probably leaning Scrab as well, though. I'm leaning Scrab as well, though. I mean, the 4-3 definitely. Yeah, there's no choice. I mean, I'm sure usually you would just invest Magpie there or something, but you know, we're not doing that. I mean, it doesn't mean you should open it though, right? You can always get it later. But yeah. I mean, yeah, you could trigger the shuffle with a ghost time, but I don't think that's a good idea here. So, because this for cockers on Tuesday. All right. So for him, it's completely different, right? Yeah, because then Crab triggers a shuffle with two birds in it, and that's yeah, quite insane. Also, you know, it prevents this. Yeah. All right. So I guess you're just what horse, and what's the other thing you're gaining? Could be, yeah. Sure. Silver seems fine on this kilo. Well, presumably ghost on. You could take coin and buy another magpie if you prefer that. Well, it just gives you a tempo boost. That's all it does. But I think you probably should just take the coin and get the bird because with training, especially, right? Sorry, what are we going to do? You cut out. Well, why did we get this ghost town? What was the purpose? So, yeah, probably should do that. Yeah, definitely card. That's the important one. Um, well, we'll see what we draw. sure. Yeah, you generally want to take horse. Yeah, I guess there really isn't anything else here. Right? Well, I mean, nothing of the same priority order. Yeah, it's a horrible draw for sure. But yeah, I agree with just buying Magpie. Well, a play is okay because you're gonna draw most of your deck from the birds because you're not gonna trash Carpers. Um, the alternative for me is to just buy a Magpie again so he gets fewer and you get more. Because you have to assume he gets the last here, right? If you don't buy it. I mean, he just started horribly, so he's gonna have his birds next turn, and he has 3 birds to multiply, which is likely then. Oh, we're not scrapping the horse, right? I mean, with an estate in hand, so. Yeah, but don't you want to hit like some amount of numbers? I mean, you're gonna trigger the shuffle, right? So playing scrap now forces you to take actions, whereas playing it later does not. Yeah, you definitely would have gotten those magpies. Wow, you draw so really sad. Um, Horse silver, I would guess. Well, taking anything does that, right? So I don't think that's something you can buy here realistically. Welcome to Magpie. No, I probably should have it bent down. But yeah, I think this is horse silver because I mean you can't realistically buy this fisherman. It's not like you can take coin buys and buy 2 fishermen. That also doesn't work. So what are you buying? Silver, ghost town. Probably just silver, right? I mean you don't have a village, so and you're not gonna have one in your next shuffle. So you're not gonna have a village in your next shuffle. So like unless you, well, yeah, but you might see the oracle next turn already, right? Which is actually decently likely to happen. Yeah, I mean I don't see why not. Why? What is the second? You want to kill your magpies? I see we're in destructive mood. I can't blame you. The card horse is the ambitious line. Well, I guess silver's better than horse at this point for sure. Card silver is fine unless you draw the estate, then it's sad because you really want to train your birds here. You're doing a good job of duplicating your magpies when there are no more magpies left, so that doesn't really help. Also, your first magpie failed and his didn't, and then he got that insane shuffle and you didn't, so there really isn't much you can do there. Oh, this isn't that great. Yeah, you do. You could do storyteller alternatives, probably nobles, yeah. I think both are fine. Okay. I think silver is better than horse. With so many, well, with just magpies around, and you're probably also gonna buy storyteller here, I would guess. Like, I don't see the need for cycling to that degree, and silver actually seems like a great card to me on this board. Well, one of each you can do, right? Well, so this turn two of your three magpies do, right? If you do double lab, you could draw, but you're also not terribly likely to draw, so I would probably do one of each, but I can see just doing double lab too, if you prefer that. I definitely don't do double storyteller, that would be bad, but. Well, you already trained magpie, so I don't think you change that. I mean, the problem a bit with storyteller is that magpies make the money at the start, right? So if you draw it at an unfortunate timing, you might have to involuntarily use too many coins for the storyteller because you can't control it here to the same degree you usually can. So that is a big reason why lab is definitely a strong consideration, or just double lab even. Sure. It's fine. Card buy, right? Surely card buy. You want to play on? Yeah. My heart. That was a shock. And no was a horrible. Like no was a horrible here. I suggested it last in a single Nova because you had a ghost on and play, which is a completely different situation than we have now. Now you can't even play your Novas unless you have both in hand. And like no, definitely not. Um, it's either gold storyteller or gold gold even. Probably gold storyteller for me, but like no way you're buying nobles. Like nobles for draw is really only an option if you have villages already in your deck and don't have to add them, or if the points are somehow incredibly irrelevant, which I don't think they are here. So, oh, you actually do a double gold line. Pretty greedy, but yeah, it's fine. I mean, surely gold is still worse at drawing cards than storyteller, but yeah. I mean, you could. Well, you don't know if that one would have been the storyteller, right? It could have been, yeah. We don't know now. So what are you doing here? Other than crying? So storyteller now then, or So this is what, 13 right now. You can kill this ghost town. It's, not doing much for you. Because you're not adding nobles anyway. I decided. No. The buy is surely the most important thing. There's a question of if you even play on. Like, there's a storyteller on top, and I think one or two birds. Like, what's the incentive of playing on here? Like, you could just take buy silver horse, for example, right? Yeah, like 13 is the perfect price point anyway. Even if you had 25 money, you would buy the same things here as you did with 13, so this is my opinion. Yeah, I mean, those are the buys I would want to make for my deck right now anyway, no matter what price point I have. Yeah, makes sense. Well, you could. The card action buy would have to be right if you play on, which I think you play on. Whoa, whoa, whoa! This is too much, right? Don't you have two magpies down there and a lab? I don't know. Wouldn't you play any treasures? I'm not sure you really have three magpies, but Fisherman go in province. Doesn't seem that bad, You have a good next turn setup, and your buys aren't much worse than they would otherwise be. So yeah, 5 is a lot, but I think it's fine. Yeah, I don't. I mean, you could even do 6, but I think I would do 5. When you play the storyteller, it's pretty relevant, right? Because you don't want to do it after all your magpies, because then all the money goes poof again. Okay. I mean, I would probably play one magpie first or something, but it's fine. Just do what you want to do. I don't think that's a clear right answer. Oh, you're not spending any treasures on it. Okay. That's pretty ambitious because now you're, yeah. Mm. Yeah, this is really bad. I thought your money, like, your deck has so much, yeah. This is pretty self-inflicted, not gonna lie. Like, your deck has so much over money that you could have easily wasted a money or two just to guarantee we see the scrap, yeah. Magpie first in general, because treasures are a stop card. But it's pretty small. It's also well, you could also kill something, right? With the scrap, you kind of have to kill something anyway. That you don't want to kill too much. I think you just play it. I mean, you're not gonna draw if you don't. I think you make more money by playing it now than by not playing it now. Yeah. I mean, it's definitely too much. You wouldn't use as much if you could freely choose it, but well, you can't. So what are we killing this turn to scrap? Yeah, I also don't want to kill the magpie, but I think you just play the magpie. You might kill the lab. I mean, yeah, I'm definitely not getting the fisherman for two. That's not very attractive to me. What's down there? What's the last card? Silver? Probably silver, right? I would have to guess you have two silvers. Okay. Mm. Oh, why are we playing this now? Why are we playing this crab right now? Oh, you want to kill a lab. I mean, what are you trying to buy this turn? You could hit double, right? If you kill it, 8, 10, 11, 30. Yeah, you could hit double. If you kill lab, you hit double. Yeah, you take card, action, silver, coin, horse. You don't even need the horse, but... yeah, instead of the horse, take the python. Action, buy, silver, coin, card. Yeah, that works. Well, this turn, yeah, you're only getting one card, right? In the scrap, draws a card, doesn't it? Am I getting the scrap wrong? Let's do it again. You take coin, that's one. You take silver, that's two. You take action, that's three. You take buy, that's four, and you take card, that's five. No, it should be fine. The only thing you don't need is the horse, so yeah, it's five. Well, no, 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 no. You have to. No, no, no. This does not work. Scrap draws before you gain the silver. You have to kill the lamp now. Everything but horse. And you know, if you then top deck your storyteller, then I think double is pretty good. Yeah, you gotta try and have a turn here. Oh. That's bad. Might just be ghost down because it does something. Yeah. Yeah, you're gonna have to use a lot of storyteller here because your deck, you added two provinces, you killed a lab, so. I mean, you have to spend all here. The only draw left is three magpies, right? That's it. I'm pretty sure that's the only drawing cards you have down there. So, unless you count scrap, which I don't. I mean, yeah, just play the birds. I don't think we're killing them to scrap. Yes, I can hear you. You DC it and reconnect it to the client, yeah. Oh, you have another magpie. I guess I got that wrong. But, I mean. So if you take action, silver, buy, you draw it all. Yeah. How much is it? Some amount. We'll figure it out, I guess. I mean, he only has two buys, right? So at best he ties if you don't take the duchy, and duchy obviously makes it so he can't win. So do you think It's pretty hard for sure, yeah. I'm not sure if he can get there killing like a gold or something, but yeah, you definitely take the province. The question is, do you take the duchy? I'm not sure, like, but it's not lab. Like, yeah, if you're buying something, it's Ghost Town because you're only having one more turn, and Ghost Town is definitely better at it than lab for that turn. I mean, you have another storyteller down there, right? So I don't think it really matters. It mostly matters for if you think your density of treasures is higher before or after the shuffle, I guess. Which I'm not really sure. I think it's higher after because last time you done it, right? So ideally, I mean, now you have to think about how much you want to do with the storyteller, which, yeah, I don't know. Some amount. Not too much, right? Like, I mean, I really want to play the Magpies after the shuffle, ideally. Well, I don't know. How much is down there anyway? It's not that much. It's just last turn, right? And that was what? Uh, okay, I guess you maybe you just play the storyteller without any treasures now then. Uh, yeah, I think actually there really shouldn't be that. I feel like we're getting something wrong. Is there really that few down there? This seems weird to me, but I guess it is. Uh, yeah, well, this is bad. Yeah, magpie scrap bottleneck. Okay. Uh, well, if that had been in the other order, you well, double wouldn't have done anything. But I mean, you gotta buy a province. You're not beating province ever, so nope. And you're looking to buy double duchy, right? There's nothing else you can do. Yeah, I mean, you could buy nobles. I mean, sure. I mean, at this point, why not? But, yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess. Well, there's a lot of junk on top. Yeah, I mean, might as well play Magpie first then to know how much we won't have to draw. One Magpie down there, so I guess you can draw six here. It's not the end of the world if you top bottom deck a card. It can't be the scrap, right? So eh. Yeah, you can take by Silver Horse and that hits 10. Well, and then we hope he misses 8 somehow after dying. Oh, yeah, that. Yeah, we either drew twice, I think, where then scrap cost like was on the bottom, which was probably a not necessary risk both times. So that definitely didn't help. Yeah, yeah, I definitely think you were quite far ahead, but oh well. I mean, it can definitely be like that. That naturally you don't want a million storytellers, but then you have these turns where you just don't draw it at the top of your shuffle, which can be quite sad. So I guess in that sense, they mostly still seem better, worse than storytellers to me, but at least until the end of the game. I mean, obviously once you green labs are better, but eh, it's hard for that difference to make an additional province. I mean, the chance that you have it in that hand where you dot and it exactly saves you from the that. I mean, sure, if that happens, it's worth it, but